I liked walking at night because you can do stuff you can't normally. You can walk in the middle of the road, no one honks at you or tries to hit you or anything. One time a guy actually did that to me. Tried to hit me, I was walking and I didn't hear him, so he came up next to me and he tapped me with his bumper and I fell down. Now I walk at night. The only thing out other than me are the bird people. The first time I saw one, it was right before the first big snow. All the lights from the town were bouncing off the sky like it was a big ceiling, and I saw someone standing out in that old vacant lot where that burned out store used to be. He was looking around and then scratching the dirt with one finger. I thought maybe he was drawing something, but it was pretty peculiar to be drawing out in the middle of the night. And then all of a sudden he leaned his head back and he made a bird call. It sounded just like one of those little dusty-looking birds that hang out with like a million other ones in bushes. He looked like he was waiting for something. Then he went off towards Maple. Just then a raccoon knocked over some cans and someone stuck their head out their window and saw me. I had to run home before they recognized who I was. The next night I got up to leave for a walk because Ma and Pop were fighting again. My little sister, Annie Lou, wanted to go with me, but I said no. I wasn't sure where I wanted to go, so I went down towards the park. Sat on the swing. They were creaky, so I sat on the grass instead and just listened. I heard a little bird somewhere calling, and I remembered that guy from the night before. And I saw a lady come up the road, walking in the middle of it like I do. She was making that little bird call, kind of hopping along like her shoes were tied together. And a man, not the same one from the other night, came out from behind the City Hall building and he called back the same way. I got up real quiet, and I hid in a bush. They met up by the monkey bars, and they stood real close together, and the lady was nodding her head all the time like she was agreeing with the man. They were talking in bird language to each other. After a while, they left in different directions. After they were gone, I got up, I went to the place where they were. I stayed there just touching the grass, thinking. Until it started to get light out, and I went home. Annie Lou started having bad nightmares. So I'd go and I'd sit with her instead of walking. I opened the window in her room and listened. No. You can hear them if you listen. I think most people just ignore them. Maybe they don't hear them because no one ever says anything about it. They're always real quiet, the bird people. But they move around all strange. The hopping lady I saw a lot, almost every night. There's a little fella with a missing arm. He shakes his head real fast, like he's saying no, 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 and another lady who bends in half, but sideways, like an R. Seen a few up by the church, around the angel statues. You hear them chirping. And then, one by one, they come to wherever the first one was. They stand around in a big group. They talk in that bird language. I found an old bird call in Pop's junk box, but it sounded like a duck. And the bird people, they don't sound like that. I asked him once after work if he could show me how to do a little sparrow call. He just told me, "Go on, son, I'm busy." Even though all he was doing was sitting on the porch and looking at nothing. But Davey next door can do a whistle with his fingers. So I got him to teach me how to do it, and it sounded pretty good. One night after that, I got out and went down to where the bird people were, and I hid behind a big bush and I made that call to see what they would do. They stopped talking. and looked all around like they were nervous. I did it again, and one of the men made a call back, but it was different. It was kind of more drawn out. I called back, but he started doing it over and over, and soon all of them were doing it. My heart started beating real fast. I saw a big woodpecker trapped in our sun porch one summer. It was beating itself to death on the windows and making that same sound. Pop caught him, put him in a tree, but when I went back later, he was dead. I turned and I ran back home, and after that, I didn't talk to them anymore. I just watched. After about a month, I started naming them. The lady who hopped I called Baby because she sounded real little. The man I called Buster because he flailed around a lot, and I wondered if maybe sometime he'd bust someone a good one. And then there was a tiny little gimpy man with something wrong with his legs, so I called him Stump. I don't think they knew I was hanging around. Maybe they just got used to me. What I liked was they seemed happy to be around each other. And I stopped going to school much. Sometimes I'd have dreams about them. They'd see me. They'd let me in the circle. I couldn't understand them, but it was nice being with them that way, even if in real life they'd never let me do it. And then one morning, Pop caught me coming home. He must have gone in my room for some reason and seen that I wasn't there. He hollered at me, cussed, and Ma got real mad at him for yelling, so she hurried into my room, and Annie Lou was crying when she fell asleep, and she didn't wake up until Pop came in later to nail my window shut. After he left, Annie Lou asked if my friends were going to come visit me tonight. I asked what she meant. She said sometimes when I was asleep, she would hear birds outside the window. And she'd seen people standing in the yard. She said they were always looking in my window, and that they just stood around. And they took turns watching me sleep. I went and I put my ear to the window. The glass was cool and nice. I stayed there for a long time. And I listened. I listened for the sound of birds calling. Take it easy. Take it easy on the truth serum. No more of the. We're live. Hi there, kids. It's me, MrCreepyPasta.
And I like midget porn.
Ooh. Hi there, kids. It's me, MrCreepyPasta.
And I'm a Russian spy. До свидания.
Ooh. Hi there, kids. I'm MrCreepyPasta.
And I just pooped myself.
Everybody has whoa, just? Hey there, kids. I'm MrCreepyPasta.
And sometimes, when nobody's looking, I go to the dog park and I sniff the dogs' butts.
Hi there, kids. I'm MrCreepyPasta.
And I'm a cam model. Ties ribbons to his penis and dances to Taylor Swift.
This is getting sad. You're not even just saying that, you're just coming to self-realizations and just not wanting to be here. Hi there, kids. I'm MrCreepyPasta.
And my mother once told me I was adopted.
Hi there, kids. It's me, MrCreepyPasta.
And I'm Vincent Vinacava.
And today we're here to talk to you about the CreepyPasta comic book. You guys probably heard us talk about it before when it first went to Kickstarter. Well, now it's available for everybody and not just the backer.
April 7th on Amazon. Follow the link. Supplies are limited.
Very limited, in fact. But you don't want to miss out on this. And it's also going to be the start of the Spooktacular this year. So you'll be able to find out what actually happened to him, whose body was stolen by Bizarro, and me, who's still stuck in the deep web.
Oh, yeah! I don't know. I just thought it was like... I just thought I'd do that. Like it was like a catchphrase.
Oh, yeah!
Snap her to a Slim Jim. Dig it!
Ah, welcome. I take it you've come for a story. Of course you did. Why else would you have tracked down my website? After all, it takes a very special browser to even locate this dark little corner of the internet. But you already knew that. So, if it's a story you want, it's a story you shall receive. And it would please me very much to read one to you this evening. All of you. Shall we begin? I've got the perfect one in mind. It's a tale about those who've been wronged and the depths they'll sink to in the name of revenge.
The CreepyPasta comic is available on Amazon, April 7th.